Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm super happy to be here today with my panelist fellows, Cyril, Leon, and Victoria. And we are going to discuss embedded finance in fleet and fuel. And this is a super exciting area, which we are all 100% involved now in Visa. And it's kind of, I'm kind of discovering the whole industry. I was talking to many companies in finance, in fleet and fuel, in leasing companies. And I'm hoping that you will guys find out that actually your propositions or what you do in your business can actually enhance this fleet industry, or potentially you are the customers. You are those who would like to get inspired about this. So today, as I suggested, we are going to talk about embedded finance in petrol or fleet and fuel. But let me start not with finance side, but let me start with through the digitization, we are bringing new features to the market, and those features are helping those fleet companies and owners. So guys, what are those key features that you see that your customers are really liking, that they need, and this is why they are actually using your services? What do they want? I believe it's not only about the discounts. Victoria, can you start, please?
Sure. So I believe that our industry started like a payment, fleet card payments, but actually it's evolving to a big platform which is connected drivers, fleet managers, service providers, and also different services. So currently industry is required not just the payment, but the set of services, starting from the fuel, toll payments, and ending up even VAT returns. So actually, this is a big set from the what is company is looking for, starting the journey of the truck, planning the journey, and ending different finance activities after their journey. Like I mentioned, even VAT returns. So evolving from just a payment means we are in totally another industry, providing services which is helping to manage fleet of our customers.
Perfect. And so you mentioned VAT return. I believe that maybe some of the people that are sitting over here, they can do this. Do you do it by yourself, or do you ask third party to do this for you?
We are providing services to our clients in cooperation with different partners. Actually, we are providing VAT returns for almost 30 countries in Europe. But I believe my colleagues are doing the same in Europe.
Okay, so guys, what are your add-ons to what Victoria said?
No, I think Victoria called it correctly. So those are the base services we are providing to our customers. In terms of Eurovac, it's like CRT, the commercial road transport, heavy industry. And these are really the core bread and butter we providing to our services. But we obviously want to go beyond that.
Leon, anything else?
Well, we shouldn't discuss credit line, right? What the customers want is also segmentation by there are different types of fleets, and one of them, of course, are the lorries. The other ones are the business cars, and each customer needs tailored product so they can fit the car with a proper credit card or proper credit that will support the business case. For example, the lorries only need fuel, then the oils, I don't know, maybe services. That's it. But the chauffeurs shouldn't buy casino services at the fueling station. On the other hand, we have CEOs that need the business trip expenses to be covered, so the card should also be supporting that side. That's one thing. And the other, of course, is a credit line. Credit line. The customers need credit. So how the credit is, I'd say, not delivered, but how do we set the credit to the company, to the card, and later on, how can it be consumed.
So Leon basically already made a bridge because I wanted to start with non-financial services and he already went into the financial services. Thank you for that. And so this is, what do we call embedded finance? Embedded finance, basically we say, I as a customer don't go to financial institution for my product. I'm actually on my journey. When I need it, I'm getting it. So if I'm shopping online and I need my credit, I'm seeing it there. If I'm a driver and I need to be insured because I'm going on journey, I can find that insurance in there. So this is kind of what we call the embedded finance. Now, if we think about it, and I would stop by on that credit side, do you see that these guys are needing so-called trading credit, meaning give me 1 month space till I settle my invoice? Or do you see the need also for revolving credit? So I'm a, I don't know, DIY guy, I'm driving my car, but I didn't get paid for my work, so give me maybe 4 months of credit that I need. Can you do this, or do you see this kind of demand?
I think that that's country specific. In Slovenia, we don't have so much revolving products. And it's actually a pretty tricky product, as we all know it. Usually the companies need 1 month credit line, let's say postpaid credit. That's about it. Maybe there is a different, I don't know, different type of consumption in other countries, I don't know, but I think that revolving is, for business part, is not the correct option.
Cyril?
So obviously the credit line is the base. I mean, the 1 month post-paid credit line, this is really the core of the services, and without it, it's really not so much useful for our customers because they really need to optimize their cash flow and cash management. However, we also see opportunity for other credits to be provided, but I would not call it a revolving credit, but more on the factoring side. Yeah? So really to make sure for the customer that he will
financing,
get... Yeah.
Financing for trucks or something like that?
No, financing for their invoices, basically.
Okay.
So they will issue an invoice, but they are not sure when they get paid or whether they get paid. But if they run it through us, we can provide the service of financing part of that invoice or whole, and they can. They do not care about the rest. Yeah? We will care about the rest, basically.
Okay.
Victoria? Yeah?
Yes. Additionally to what Cyril is saying, I think credit line is crucial and basement, I think, in our industry. So factoring as well, but we also have additional service product which we are called fast data. So actually, this is some kind of additional product based on our analysis of cooperation with our clients. So this is very short credit line upon request. And we are providing this is only to our loyal customers because we have a database, so we know, and we also see sometimes there is seasonality, sometimes, as you mentioned, there is some issues with the payment from their clients. So we have additional service like fast credit, which is possible to obtain. Overall, summing up, yes, it is very demanded, different time of credit facilities within our industry. But they are not like only credit line which is for receivable, but sometimes popping up upon different situation what clients is facing. And in this case, we as a partners quite loyal and effective, and we have history, and we can provide additional financing upon
And
request.
so I again assume that you are not doing with your capital, you are utilizing some kind of fintechs out there or banks that are providing the capital?
It depends. We are as a company mainly working with our own capital, so we do not have so much leverage from outside, but it's depending on the structure of the company, I believe.
Cool, thank you. So guys, maybe again, inspiration for you. If we go to payments, right, we came with this idea that the drivers or fleet owners, they don't need only to go to refuel, to charge, they need also to enable some of depending on the employee type. If you are a sales guy, you need to pay for your hotel, you need to pay for food, you need to invite your clients for dinner. But if you are, of course, lorry driver, you need to fix your truck or you need to pay for toll. So do you see payments as inevitable that it needs to broaden the opportunity to pay for? And then also, how do you see this as a revenue driver for your business?
What our let's say what we need to do is that driver is not supposed to go inside and pay for the goods that he receives. That should be done seamlessly by identification. I don't know, for example, the license plate, and that's our main goal. What happens in the background with the payment, that's another story. But this shouldn't be something that the driver should be caring about. It doesn't care. The fleet manager says, go to that pump, refuel the lorry, and move forward. I think that this is where we need to go, or to what's our final destination, us as a payment providers. But of course, behind of all that is the risk management.
And thank you for this. I will just remind, but because we have central bankers over here, and this is message also for them, because when I'm talking to the guys, legal guys, they are telling me, Brano, we have to follow a legal framework of payments, legal framework of banking, legal framework of PSD2. Now we'll have PSD3. And this requires to do KYC to every holder of my payment. But what if the holder of the payment is a truck? How do we do KYC into a truck? Because we are trying to get to the vision that you just said. There we have to admit that in the future, it's not going to be a person who is doing purchase. It can be machine. It can be truck. It can be big machine in a factory that needs supplies to order. So how do we fix this? But this is probably for discussion outside of this panel. Yeah, Leon, you wanted to comment something? Okay.
I think what Leon said, the risk management and the control is crucial for the customers, because it's crucial for the regulators, obviously, but also for the customers, because they have very high turnover in their employees or suppliers even. And so paying for fuel is basically simple because it's controlled by product, but then paying for all the other stuff you said, that needs to be controlled and need to be focused. And this is something we need to provide our customers.
Cool. So guys, let's switch into security. Fleet and fuel and security. So how secure it is to run a closed loop business, open loop business? What are the issues? What issues might have oil companies, intermediaries like Eurovac or E100, or even fleet companies?
Maybe from our side, we have a specific situation where we are selling the fuel and also providing the closed loop scheme. So what happens is that we actually make it happen, the payment, to the goods that we already paid for, and we just need the money back. So actually we somehow just transfer the what the customer bought to another account, let's say. No, there's a specific situation in our business case, but if from security perspective, fleet and fuel cards are usually, as a security, are outdated. Sorry, but that's what happened. The certifications, the PSD2, the PSD3 will really increase or decrease the risk and increase the need for implementing the new standards. And therefore, we need to update those protocols, those exchange of data, that will be needed for authorization of the payment. For example, as you said before, identification or identity of the buyer is not a person, but actually it is. But we need to enhance the data with if he's really there, if the truck that is on the fuel station is the right truck, if the fuel manager did say that on that specific point of sale, the driver will be refueling the truck, and we combine all this data into authorization stream, which will also be, for example, one part will be financial authorization, and the other part will be the risk authorization. And when those two data come together, then we know who the person behind the purchase is.
Makes sense. And Victoria, you wanted to say?
No, I think Leon has actually good combined the major challenge that we have, because we have a lot of on-time transactions. We need to do certification. We also need to identify transaction, and we need to be sure that there are no double mistakes, because trucks are moving all the time. So it's not just you're doing transaction only in one city, it's going over borders, and it's also different GPS activities, and also sometimes loss of signals. And we are as a fleet card, and we are working a lot to put together different pieces of information and data that we have to avoid and minimize risk for our partners that actually payments are identified in a wrong place. So as Leon is exactly mentioned, so there are different criteria of card, truck, putting together and to check with the routes to be sure that actually transaction really have taken place. And this is also a little bit challenging for the future if we would discuss embedded like means of payment in a truck. So currently there are another tools, but this is the future, which will be put a challenge on us about security if we will move this direction.
Thank you. Cyril, what do you want to say?
No, what I just want to say that basically what Leon describes already exists. Yeah, so we really do we really do comparing, for example, the position of the truck with the place of payment. We have some enhanced locking of the cards. We have like predictive fraud detection, which is based on both geographical and other let's say aspects. But of course, it's not spread, I would say, throughout the whole portfolio and so on. So we can still see issues, but we are moving, I think, into the right direction.
So now I'll ask you, because you are now operating both closed loop and open loop. Where do you see the more risk?
Well, because I'm responsible for closed loop authorization center, which I have in my hands, so I would say closed loop is safe. No, but we haven't had any issue with open loop, and because our cards are really professional used cards, which are very tightly controlled by the owners and dispatchers, we don't see any frauds on open loop as well. Yeah?
So this is a good point. So is the risk basically controlled not only because you have all this employed security and I don't know, maybe even artificial intelligence, whatever, that is monitoring it, but because you are giving rules and dispatcher the rights to control those actually payments, and that's why you are adding additional layer of that security.
Exactly.
Okay, so, and we can do this also with open loop, by the way, guys. Because time is up, guys, let's look into the future. So what is the future looking like in fleet and fuel? And now you can actually think of totally crazy ideas, how we are going to drive, what we are going to do in the future, if we are driving our cars, or fleet cars, or big lorries.
We are not driving. Maybe we'll be flying, maybe, but definitely there's, electricity, then the hydrogen, but that's the mainstream. Maybe the flying in the cities will be one of the, so the urgent, like the ambulances and, I don't know, organ deliveries. will actually be made by flying through cities, I don't know, with drones or whatever. But that should be obvious. But definitely not driving.
Okay. Victoria?
The good thing that the transport industry is supposed to exist because we need to move goods from one point to another. Whether it will be truck or something flying, I don't know. But definitely there are trends about EV. So that's for sure. And we as a fleet card providers are also looking in this segment. But I think it's also more and more moving in combination of embedded payment means. Like we discussed, it could be in build and track, it could be something different, but actually something which will allow during the whole journey to do it more automative and also maybe to plan, because currently if we are looking on the management side or the transportation, so there is a lot of decision on the driver, where actually to fuel and so on. Maybe it will be more integrated and there will be more management in the offices which will decide where to stop and how to fill, where to fill, and this will be somehow connected to the truck, putting less decision on the driver and more to the management of the fleet.
Cyril, final remarks?
Yes, I think exactly. If I will go to our field, yes, so what we see is that we have now all the little bits and pieces. We have fuel cards, we have financing, we have insurance, and so on. And on the other hand, we have transport management systems, which help our customers to manage their fleets. But we need to put it basically all together, so then the commercial transport can really get, I would say, tailored planning and offerings just on basically based on just setting the route from one side to another, and basically leave very little to decision of the particular driver.
Thank you. So thank you guys for attention, and see you soon.
Cool. Super. Thank you.